Good morning, how are you guys? Today we're going to talk about some self-sabotage. And I bring this up because I hear a lot of people talking about it lately. So I wanted to help you out with a few tips on some things that we can do with our own self-sabotage because you know we do it. It happens a lot, right? Just day in and day out. So I have a few reasons that I'm going to share with you today. So I'm Kelsie Michaud, health and life coach, and if you come on, please say hello so I know that you're here, and if you happen to catch the replay, hashtag replay, so I know you're here and I'd love to say hello to you as well. Hey Raf, how are you? Thanks for coming on. So today, if you're think about it, if you're taking control of your overeating and your emotional eating, you know, it's not easy to get control of that. Like, we all know that if we are emotional eaters. So if it was that easy, it'd be done already, right? We'd be doing it. So once you know about, say like the nutrition, like the basics of nutrition, and we all know that saying, you know, eat less, move more, then it usually comes down to how you're actually managing your choices, okay? You know, all of your thinking, what's going on in your head, all of those thoughts and those voices, and you know, your mindset is huge. It plays a huge role in this, and all of these feelings that you just have going on. So your emotional eating is just a big reason. Oh my gosh, I'm smiling right now so much. I'm so happy. I just had a message pop up from one of my clients that how much more weight she has lost. So oh my gosh, I can't wait to reply to her. I have a huge grin on now. I'm so happy for her. But anyway, I'm sorry. It came on my screen here while I'm thinking all these thoughts. So I had to share that with you guys. But yay, so I can't wait to reply. So anyway, your mindset. And just like with my client that just popped in, her mindset, she's gotten it into the right place now. So it plays a huge role, okay? But so the way we think, all right, the way we think can really affect our success. So when it comes to breaking free from all this emotional eating and this overeating, that head game is huge, okay? Because if you feel trapped in that vicious cycle, you know, with the overeating and the weight, or if you aren't creating the actual success that you want, then it's probably time to take a look at, you know, where your beliefs lie, you know, whether your beliefs or the way you're thinking are actually sabotaging all of your efforts. So there's a few beliefs that may be possibly sabotaging your success with overeating, and I want to go over those with you today. So one, it could be, you know, you might have this all or nothing thinking, you know, that all or nothing attitude. And that's when you feel like you just have to be perfect. And a lot of people feel that way. And basically, like, your way of thinking is that you've either succeeded or you've failed. Okay? So basically, you would think, or you'll say things like, okay, I've blown it today because, you know, I just went and I ate a few chips or I had a brownie. So, oh, there goes my day. I might as well just keep going. And you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. Have you ever said that to yourself? Has that ever happened? I know it's happened to myself many times in the past. And that's your mindset. And it's a crazy way of thinking. I know, but that's where the mindset comes in. And that all or nothing thinking, it never allows you to actually feel good about what you're doing because it just can't get it right all of the time. All right, you can't be perfect all of the time. Nobody is perfect, really. You know, unless you're that higher power, unless you're God, you're like, nobody's perfect. So you need to stop beating yourself up to be that perfect version of what you have in your mind. And the truth is that your relationship with food, it's happening all day long, right? We have to deal with it all day because you have to eat. We need to fuel our bodies. And you'll come across some good moments and some, you know, not so good ones too. But whatever happened like a moment ago or an hour ago in your day does not take away your ability or your power to do something positive in the next present moment, okay? So instead of focusing on getting it just perfect, instead of thinking about just doing your best, or instead I want you to think about just doing your best, just one step at a time, okay? That's gonna make things so much more doable for you. And another reason you might feel self-sabotage is because you might say to yourself, I don't deserve it, right? And this is why women and men overeat, because they're using food as a substitute for something else, okay? Overeating just becomes this sneaky little way to give yourself a treat or a break or to comfort yourself when you just don't feel entitled to let yourself have what you really, really want, okay? Or what you really need. And you did not know, maybe, or maybe let me ask it this way. Did you know that we tend to attract people who treat us the way we treat ourselves? Okay, so you want to treat yourself with kindness and compassion and respect, and actually allow yourself to have what you crave, and then you're more likely to start getting that that treatment from those around you as well. All right. Another reason is that you might be thinking that maybe you're being selfish. You know, a lot of us think that being kind to ourselves is actually being selfish. And, you know, a lot of us were raised that we need to put others first or focus on just taking care of other people that we care about, which is absolutely wonderful. That's a wonderful thing to learn and a wonderful trait to take on. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with being kind and being nurturing. You know, it's actually, it's a beautiful strength to have. But here's the thing. It can lead to our self-sabotage if you aren't also prioritizing yourself, okay? If you're always putting others first, and then once you put yourself first, or you try to put yourself first, sometimes that can feel selfish to us. And let me tell you, it absolutely is not. You know, part of intuitive eating is self-love and self-care. And that's, it's what helps you to bring your best version of you forward. And then it brings that into your relationships and into your work and so on and so on, okay? And then another reason you might be self-sabotaging, and this is a big one that I hear quite often, I should be able to figure this out. I should be able to figure this out. This self-sabotaging, this self-sabotaging, thank you, mindset, a lot of times it comes with blame and these just angry judgments about yourself because you can't figure it out, all right? And thinking this way tends to lead to just feeling alone and feeling isolated and not getting the help and the support that you really need. And this can turn into even like more shame, that shame and that guilt, and then losing your confidence, all right? But you should never be afraid to reach out to someone, because you can be really surprised by what happens when you reach out for help. You know, then you're given this opportunity to share your struggles and your feelings and your emotions with someone who is supportive. And just that alone, being able to talk it out sometimes, helps you get it out, that negative energy that's manifesting inside of you. It helps you to get that negativeness out, and that alone can make you feel so much better. So, you know, being stuck in that should trap, which is a huge one, the should trap, I should be able to figure this out, is only one should that sabotages our success. Shoulds in general are something to be careful of, because real lasting success is actually created when we combine the information and the strategies and the tools, you know, put them all together with what we know about ourselves, and then it can all work together for us. They all work in harmony and in combination for us, which is exactly what I do for my clients. I give them the information and the strategies to implement and to put in place, and all these new tools and action steps that they're actually going to to do, go about their way and actually put them into place. And that is what becomes just this new, absolutely major, amazing, like that's where the magic happens, okay? Because they're doing all of this, they're taking all this information and they're putting it together with their new strategies and tools, and they're creating these new habits and lasting change for themselves. Because these new habits, as they practice them, all of a sudden they're doing them without even thinking about it. And now that becomes the new way of being. And you're just doing it. And you're just living healthy. And you're doing these new healthy habits and creating them and living them every single day without even having to think about it. It's not a question. You just do it. Just like you get up and you brush your teeth. You know, you get up and you start your day with the right meal that's going to nourish your body. And you do it in a way that feels good to your body. And you're making the choices and eating in amounts that feel good to you, both mentally and physically. And that makes all the difference in the world, because you'll hear me say often, it's not just about what you eat, but how you eat. And that really, really does make a difference. That's the whole holistic approach to nutrition and your mindset and your overall, just your being. Good morning, Pauline. How are you? Thanks for coming on. So that real lasting change and that real lasting success is created when you combine all of that information and the strategies and the tools and put them all together and just let the magic happen. It just goes from there, okay? Because there's too many shoulds. Too many shoulds can disconnect you from yourself and your own inner peace and your own inner wisdom. So they can lead you to just these feelings of overwhelm, okay? And can just make you want to just throw in the towel and be like, oh, forget it. It's too much. I can't handle it. I don't want to do it. But when you ask yourself if your should is it really an I want to? Okay? If it isn't, then, do you know why it isn't? Because say, like, for example, you go to the doctor. You're not going to be very enthusiastic if your doctor tells you that you should lose about 80 pounds, right? That's not gonna thrill you. That's not gonna make you too happy or too motivated. But like, I had a client who was much more motivated when I helped her to realize that she wanted to lose the weight, okay? And once this became really clear to her, then she really wanted to lose the weight and be healthy and be fit enough, to go for bike rides with her daughter. Just all these wonderful things that she wanted to do that she felt like she couldn't at the time. But she felt she was ready to put the work in once she was feeling that she wanted to do it, because then she was feeling motivated. So the should will drag your energy down, okay? This compelling reason that she found, to go for a bike ride with her daughter, just lit her up and made her feel so good and so happy inside. And that got her moving toward her goal. Okay, so all of these reasons are all possible reasons that you could be self-sabotaging yourself as well. And if you have any questions about this content that I just covered, let me know. Pop it in the comments. I'm happy to answer your questions for you. And if there's no questions now, I'm going to hop off. But I do want to remind you that I'm doing complimentary consultations this week. I have 3 spots open. If anybody would like to jump into one of those spots, and if you're feeling maybe a little stuck or frustrated, and you're not sure where to go, where you're at right now, and you'd like to discuss your goals and how I can take you from where you are now to where you'd like to go, if that's something you'd like to look further into, or if you'd like to know more about intuitive eating, or feel like maybe that's something you'd like to look more into because you'd like to get away from that whole dieting cycle and just get off that dieting merry-go-round and just become an intuitive eater and eat in a way that feels good to your body while still meeting your goals without the stress and the rules and the restrictions. It's a great way to live. It's a healthier way to live, both mind and body, because I'm living it. I'm living proof. I went from the restriction, binging, all of that diet mentality, gotten rid of all of it. It's all gone. And let me tell you how freeing it's been. That weight is just lifted off my shoulders, and it feels so good, so good. And now I teach it to others, and I'm watching my clients transform from dieter to intuitive eater. And I know they're feeling wonderful, but it's a good feeling for me to watch them transform into it and be healthier versions of themselves. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer your questions. You can put it in the comments or reach out, just PM me, and I'm happy to chat. So if there's no questions now, I'm going to hop off, but hope you all have a very beautiful week. It's the start of the week, so let's start off strong and lots of motivation and heading towards our goals, because you guys can do this. We got this. We are working together on this, and if any questions come up for you, just reach out. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.